Hi, this is Keith from Pharmacy-Tech-Study.com. And this video is about a question that was asked on the Ask a Question page. And Tyson in Canada wants to know for the question of how many grams of HC powder should be added to 32 grams of 5% HC ointment to prepare an ointment containing 20% HC. And he says before that several pharmacists and technicians have come up with the answer of 4.8 grams. However, at a seminar you went to, they said it was 6 grams. Which answer is correct? So let's work this out and get the correct answer for you there, Tyson. So most people would just go right to conversion math, and I'll show you why. So what we've got is a 32 gram volume of ointment, and it's a 5% strength, and so what that means is it has 1.6 grams of active ingredient. Okay, and that's 5%. Now 20% is 4 times the strength that 5% is, so a lot of people will go ahead and just assume that they can just take this 1.6 and multiply it by 4, and then what they get is 6.4 in 32 grams. Now that's 20%, right? It is. But the only problem is that, oh, and so the answer would be you added 4.8 grams, right? The only problem is that you have to add this 4.8 grams to your total volume now. Okay, so what you've really got is not this. You've really got 36.8 is your total mass now, and you have your 6.4 grams of active ingredient. Now what you really have is about a 17% concentration. So that is incorrect. We were looking for a 20%. Okay, so just simple conversion math doesn't work on a problem like this. Okay, the other route that a lot of people would take is an alligation, because you have a higher percentage strength to work with, which is 100%, and then you have a lower, in this case it's 5%. So you set up your tic-tac-toe. We're looking for 20%, so we'll go ahead and figure things out going this way and this way. And so this ratio, we could knock that down to 3/16, apply our 32 grams, and then do our math and know that if 16 parts is 32 grams, then 3 parts would be 6 grams, and that would be our answer. And this way does work, but the only problem is that it's kind of hard to look at it and be able to justify it or prove it. Once you do it a few times, it's not that bad, but let me show you. In order to prove this, you need to actually add back in your original ingredient, which in this case was 1.6 of the active ingredient, and then you added in another 6 grams to your total. So then you add all those up, and what you get is 7.6 in 38 grams, and that indeed is 20%. So you can use alligation, but it gets a little more tricky, and so you can use it at your own risk. But the best way that I would recommend to use is just using an algebra equation. So let's go ahead and set that up. So we have 32 grams of a 5%, and we want to add an unknown amount of full strength, and we want it to equal, it needs to equal our 32 grams plus whatever we put in it, and it needs to be 20%. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our math and get this all narrowed down. So we have 1.6 plus x equals, going this way we get 6.4, going that way we get 0.20x. Okay, so now we need to get everything to one side, so we're going to move the 1.6 over here, so we're going to take it away here, so we have to do the same thing. equals 4.8. Now we're going to get rid of this. Okay, so now what we've got is 0.8x equals 4.8. We're going to isolate. X equals 6. Alright, so that is my answer. And I know it's in grams because I look back at my setup and we were dealing in grams that we were going to add in. So this is what I believe in doing, is just using algebra, and then when you're done you know that your answer is correct. And if you want to prove it, you can actually just go ahead and put it in up here. You can substitute it in and just do the math straight across and it'll add up. Alright, so that is the correct answer, Tyson. It's 6 grams. And thanks for asking the question.